Hello, good morning, Linda. Or good evening, should I say?
Good
Oh,
morning. I'm in sunny LA, so it's morning time.
exactly, absolutely, absolutely. I'm so happy to have you here today and to be able to interview you and talk about your journey of entrepreneurship. Talk about like your journey of mindset mastery and working with me on like really just busting through the blocks that kind of were keeping you stuck, and we'll go into all of that, but and
Mm.
just really hear about where you are today, and I think that would be the best place to start. Like, I would love for, I know a lot about your journey and we've had like a little catch up as well, but for the viewers that see this, like, tell us about what you do and what you do right now and who you are.
Right. So, as you've heard, my name's Linda. I work with people in career transition. So, whether you're transitioning from one unfulfilling, crappy career and wanting to go to the next level of it, or whether you're thinking, I'm going to make the leap and start something that I actually really care about, my own business, and make money out of that, I work in that space. That's where my expertise is. And I work with people at a 360 basis. So we start with mindset, and we work with your career, and then we work to your image and your branding and presenting yourself out to the world, to your potential business partner, to your employees, to your bosses, wherever you want to go. So that's my expertise. Find a more meaningful, fulfilling career that's well paid. That is well
Mm-hmm.
paid. I'm all about the money. That's usually the measure of success in career. So we might as well get that right whilst we're working on everything else.
I love that. And how did, because when we met, you was kind of doing it a little bit. Like, where was you at that point in your journey?
Yeah, so for me, career coaching is my mission and my calling, and I've always been doing that in some shape or form. I mean, I started off working, well, I did a degree in finance and worked in finance and worked in banking actually, and then, well, as life has a way of doing, life guided me down the career path by me ways of being fired. But we will go into that. So I got fired, so I went into HR and then started working in that field. So I've been career coaching in that way, and then I went career coaching for different universities in the United Kingdom, and that was really good. And like I found it really fulfilling. But when you're in a place that you've got so much more to give, but the environment doesn't support that, that greatness that you have in you. So I was still working as a career coach and I was getting fulfillment from that, but I wasn't able to help people in the way that I knew would make a lasting change rather than a temporary change. Okay. So when you're working for someone as a career coach, you've got 10 minutes per candidate, you do their CV. If you're lucky, you get to do interview prep, but you need to, that's just the surface level, right? You need to be the person that we've said you are on the CV, and you need to be a confident person. You need to have your mind right. You need to be sure that what you're applying is aligned with your purpose, and you have to know why you're applying for the job. So I wanted to do all that work, and that wasn't happening in my job as a career coach. So I stepped out of that and created something that I knew would be more fulfilling to me, and I get paid more.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And like what you've created now, because you work on it full time, right?
Yes, I do.
And what you created now is like really embedded into your life as well, right? It's like you get to have a purposeful life, as well as, like, before it was like working as a career coach for an organization where you felt like you could be making much bigger difference, but also like your life, the way you was living your life at that time as well, was not in alignment with how you're living your life now. Right?
Absolutely. So before I met you, I was working in one place, and I almost felt stuck. I'm a nomad. Like, my ancestors have been a nomad. I love to travel. I love meeting new people. I love the personal interaction, and none of that was really suiting my lifestyle. So sometimes I work behind a computer and do a CV. So again, that's one block. So I wasn't getting the fulfillment from working directly with people. And when I did, I wasn't able to help them the whole way around. I was able to just give them a snippet because of my time constraints. So that's how that changed as well. Now I get to travel all around the world. I think 2/3 of the year I'm away in different countries. I think this year I would have been on 5 continents, actually. I don't know how many countries, just speaking to people, making a difference in career, but I can do it in any form that I like. I can speak to people, I can run workshops, I can do one-to-ones, I can do, I don't know, intervention, as I call it. Yeah. In terms of sessions, I get to work with all walks and partnering up with different people. And that's how working with you has evolved. So I've always known I wanted to be in careers, but I had to make that leap. And you helped me make that leap because you've seen this journey, right?
Yeah,
you've seen
absolutely
the absolute low point, and then to having, I suppose, bigger problems now, or better problems, or nicer problems to have again.
I remember a coach once said to me, called it champagne problems now.
I like that.
You know, that's a champagne problem. So, you know, the other thing, like, I remember as well at the beginning that I could really see, like, you know, I guess my power and intuition is really good, my clients tell me, in terms of being able to see for them. Sometimes I could really see the passion in career coaching, but I remember there was like you was quite, as a lot of creatives are and entrepreneurs, like, you know, that monkey mind, or like, you know, oh, I could do this and I could do that, or maybe I could do this, and you know, and being in that place of like not 100% owning it at that time. Do you remember that, like, that time?
Well, not entirely, but I know that's me. I mean, that sounds like me. I call it being a squirrel.
Yes, right, exactly. Yeah.
I'll be talking to someone and something passes and I'm like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, literally. So yeah. And also, and actually that's a very valid point that you raised, because now I help my clients do that, but because I know that I'm like that. We have so much noise now. And I'll say in terms of career coaching, or in terms of careers, you've got what your parents did or what your family line have done, the careers, that path that you want to go in. Then you've got what's the highest paid career to go in. And then you've got social media telling you this is the cool thing to do. Like, be a blogger, be a lifestyle entrepreneur. And then all your friends judging you, like changing jobs, and you. So there's a lot of noise. You know, we're being influenced by so many things. And it's hard to focus. I think I went, now that I'm talking about it, I think I remember I knew I wanted to do career coaching, but I was like, oh, well, what if I do personal styling? Or what if I do, because I also had a skincare brand as well at that.
Yeah, there's other things going on, right?
Yeah. So definitely there is noise in the market, and working with you, for example, it just helps to streamline it, you know, and just work in your zone of genius, you know, what you're supposed to be doing, right? And you know that you're brilliant at, and also what I now call your natural path to wealth.
I love that. I love that phrase, natural path to wealth. Yeah.
It's copyrighted. I'm joking.
I love that. Oh, I won't say. But yeah, definitely the natural path to wealth, for sure. You know, like, it's really that similarities in terms of really, once you own who you are meant to be, and you know, really take those steps on that, everything changes. And I've seen it so much with you, and with, you know, all the other people that I get to work with. It's just been phenomenal. You know, I also remember, like, because you was one of the people that clearly stated to me, like, you know, I've tried and failed like 3 times with trying to get a business up and running. And, you know, I'm going to give it one more shot. In fact, you actually said, I'm going to give myself 6 months to live and one more shot, right? And, you know, and I remember those powerful words you'd said. And what do you think was the difference now in hindsight of, like, all those times before and now this time, where you're literally flourishing, flying around the world, doing what you want. You're 100% full time in your own business. Like, what was that difference?
You know, this is actually quite sad for me, because when people say, "Oh, well, how'd you get started?" I say, out of desperation. And actually, I've been in an interview, was it yesterday, with Michael Douglas, and he was saying, when you remove options, you know, when you don't have any options, you go. So yes, I tried to start it 3 or 4 times actually before I met you, and at each time I left myself. I'll start at full part time and just work on it. But I know that if it doesn't work, I'm going to go back to my job, or I still have my job on the side. I've got money coming in. There was always something that I could fall back on. So I hadn't completely burnt my bridges. And so I had options. But when you remove options, you know, and you're done, because, I mean, you saw it got to a point where it was affecting my health mentally, emotionally, physically. I was signed up for depression and put on antidepressants. Like, it got to that point where enough was enough. You know, you've only got a set amount of time to live, and time's ticking, and I'm not doing it, and the frustration that comes with it. And it's not just about business, you know. It's vital to your systems that you get your mindset right and you do what you're supposed to be doing, you know. So, like, when people are treating it like it's an option, it's not, you know. It's
Right.
You've got to do this, like, you know. There's no other way. You have to get your mindset right. You've got to learn from people who can help you to get your mindset right, so you can do what you're meant to be doing, and doing it brilliantly. And I'm not saying that your problems go away and whatever, but you're in flow so much more. You've got the tools to be able to deal with the problems. You've got challenges. You're growing, because when you're not growing, you're dying. So you're growing, and it's exciting.
I love the way you've put that, Dish, there. You know, like, it's really about operating in that plan A energy. And I find far too many entrepreneurs are really still in the plan B energy, if they're honest with themselves. And once you divert into what you're saying, you know, you go into plan A energy, you take away, like, there's options, you really say, this is working, like, this is plan A. Plan A, I'm working on it in that way.
Exactly. I mean, I said, you reminded me that I'd said I have 6 months to live. 6 months to live, and I hadn't even realized the gravity of those words. But it got to a point where it was not an option. I gotta do it, like, you know, and I gotta put all my eggs in this basket, and I better watch the damn basket.
Absolutely. And I knew from that powerful statement, I knew that it was like onwards and upwards for you, right? Like, you was going to take the tools, really immerse yourself into it. Like I said, you know, I say to people, I don't cast no magic spell on anybody and, like, they go off and do stuff. Like, literally all I'm doing is providing you the tools, but you've done the work, right? And, like, it was that plan A energy that you came with, that determination, that statement, that really as well helped you on your way and on your journey. Definitely. So it's loads of tangible results. Yeah. In business and in life, would you say? Oh,
absolutely.
Back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. So yeah, loads of tangible results. Tell us about those.
Yes. So I've grown my business really, I don't know, 10-fold, 20-fold. I've lost count right now. Like, I'm just getting ready to go and do a guest lecture in Seattle. Like, I'm from England. I've done Florida, and I'm talking about in the last 2 weeks. I've just come from Florida, doing a conference there. I'm in LA. I'm going to Seattle. Like, that stuff doesn't happen, you know. But all of this is manifested because I took that first step, you know. What else? I'm working with people. I'm working with a Hollywood producer now. I was saying, to produce a film. That's always been my dream. I don't know if anybody remembers this. I must be the only kid that remembers this. But there was a program on MTV called Made.
Oh no!
Where they used to take kids, like, that want to be prom kings and queens, and coach them to do that. And now I get to do that with my business and with my clients. That's exciting. I'm on the radio now. I'm doing an online course. People want to buy from me. I get invited to speak all over the world. It's fantastic. Talk about tangible results. Like, these are pie high sky dreams that I'm doing, and I'm learning from it, and I'm growing each time. You know, I'm getting there. Like, I'm by no means where I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm getting there, right? Like, and if I was to die today, like, coming back to the morbid subject that I started with, if I was to die today, I feel like I would be at peace with how much I hassled for the dream and how much I achieved doing that, you know, like, I'll do it or I'll die trying, you know, that sort of thing. So it's like, as long as I know I'm trying, I'm happy, and it fuels me to do more. Whereas if I'm sitting there in an employment that I know I don't like, or I've started my business and I know that it's not going anywhere, but I'm not asking for help, I would be really unfulfilled.
Yeah.
So it's really important.
Absolutely. And so much, you know, things have just, it aligns, doesn't it? Like, I remember very quickly, like, even identifying, like, you know, you wanted to live by the sea. I remember that was a big thing of you and stuff. And very quickly, then you moved there, and now you're by the sea right now, literally, probably. You know, like, so much great other stuff gets to happen once you take that real step. I always say to people as well, it's not an easy journey, right? It's a journey that does come with its challenges. And one of the very first challenges that I find that many people have is that leap to invest in themselves, right? And that it comes with a level of excitement in them, knowing like, I really want to do this. This is amazing. We'll get started. And it comes with this like, this is quite a significant amount for me, and should I really do this? Should I weigh it up? What should I do? What advice would you give to somebody that's kind of in that space of, or what was your journey even like in terms of like making that investment into yourself and continually to make the investments into yourself as you grow and develop?
Good question. Like, when I started, that was very significant for me. I think we had a couple of calls, and obviously working employed and not having too much disposable income, living in London, and then wanting to do this. It was a real push to me, you know. But so, as you said, there was this excitement there because it was like, oh my God, I could even get a glimmer of my dream. But at the same time, it's like, this is the only money I have. Like, I don't have the money. I had for investing in you, I had to go and get some credit to do that. But it was like, what's there? And if I didn't let go of what's here, it's like giving, right? If your hand is closed, you can't receive. So it was a struggle. Like, but it's so important, you know. When you people always think about, what if I don't make it? But what if you do? What if it all takes off, right? And you're like, where you are is as a result of what you've done so far. So even if that didn't work, you know that you can get back to this point that you are. There's nothing that you wouldn't lose anything by letting go of it or investing in yourself and just using that last money when you know that I'm going to work. Again, I was talking about the basket. As soon as you've invested and you know that this has to work, you don't give yourself a choice. You will do whatever it takes. And you make it a declaration to yourself, you know, when you invest a significant amount. Honestly, when you invest a couple of something that isn't significant to you, you have a different energy to it, because you're like, okay, well, if it doesn't work, I tried it, or I'm too busy to follow this online course. And this is the thing, most of us start online courses and don't finish it because we've already paid $50, whatever, but it's not significant enough to get you to move. But when you know that's the last money, and this is significant to me, and I know that I'm going to stand on this money and propel me the next level, the energy is different. You go at it with a different, and you're not waiting for your coach to come and say, "Oh, what have you done this week?" You're there because you're thinking of the next step and the next step. That that money needs to pay off. You need to pay the bank back, right? So
yeah,
extra hard for it. So it's we all go through this, right? And at different stages, but it's just believing in yourself and betting on yourself, and it's called investing in yourself. You take a chance on yourself. If someone came to you and they needed something, and lots of us will give easily, but it's like, how about me? How about me? Imagine if I was so much better, how much more I could give. When you look at it in terms of that giving energy and that future energy, it's an easier decision to make.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that how you explain that as the declaration to yourself, right? I often explain it as well, saying like that is the first step of mindset mastery that the individual has to make themselves. Like I'm not really there to kind of guide you through that, although to some extent I am, but it's really that personal declaration of like, I'm in it, I'm going forward, I'm determined. And I love how you said that. Like it's the first step of you making that declaration to yourself.
It was scary, but it was so much worth it. I can't imagine if I didn't do it. What if I didn't do it, right? What if I didn't do it?
That was my next question. I wanted to say, like, could you imagine? And you probably don't even want to imagine. But what if you didn't take that step? Like, what could life be like right now?
If I didn't take that step, like, I mean, I was really frustrated in the job that I was in anyway, but I would have moved on to another unfulfilling job with probably a slightly higher pay rise, and thinking, oh, do you know what? Like, this is good. I shouldn't complain. But I would be nowhere near where I am now. I've got even my managers, my old managers are going, what are you doing? Like, I see you traveling around the world, and like, even they can't imagine that life for themselves. And what if I didn't do it? I would never know what I would be capable of. I'd never meet my husband now. Like, and that's even exciting. Like, we're gonna talk about that. But but I don't even want to think about what if I didn't do it, right?
Exactly. And it's had a knock-on effect, right? Like the mindset mastery, often people like, obviously everybody that I work with and come across is all about entrepreneurship and business, but it really does have a knock-on effect of every single area of their life in terms of self-care, in terms of personal fitness, love life, like, maybe you could talk a bit about that.
Definitely. I mean, I'm a strong believer in how you do anything is how you do everything. And once you master your mind, in whatever context you're looking at it now, so we all have different lenses. You've got your business. But if you're watching this right now, you most likely got your business lens on, and you're thinking, well, if I master my mindset, it'll help my business. And that's great. But as the person you become, and as the person you become as well. So you're the kind of person that invests in yourself. It means I have standards, right? I've set a standard for myself, so I'm going to take below this, and this is my new standard, because that's the level I've invested at, and this is where I'm going. And it'll knock on in your life. For me, it manifested in, again, investing in my mindset. All of a sudden, I started employing all the things I learned from The Secret. I had money, paper money all over my walls. I took more chances. I was doing a lot more charitable work too. Like, it's not just about accumulating, but also giving back. And I met my husband now, because I'm recently married. Yeah.
I love that.
My husband now, through that, doing that charitable work, and this is strange, right? I had seen that, like, before that I was going on Tinder dates and whatever, and I'd seen that the universe told me that when I'm doing what I love, when I'm the best version of myself, my partner will find me at a talk where I'm talking and he sits in the audience. And I thought, okay, well, I need to do more speaking because I just had this revelation. And that's how we met. Isn't that crazy? And that's because I'd words on my mind, you know, and then I say yes to things that I'm just like, I would never say. Like recently, I agreed to do something totally crazy. I know somebody who wanted to meet a celebrity I was going to see. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I was petrified, but it's because that's my new level, right? You know,
right.
It's a mindset mastery. That's like, I'm not going to go here and be the scared person. I'm going to feel the fear and do it anyway. So I was scared, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to reach out to that person and make that introduction. And I did. And afterwards, I was just like, oh my God, I did that. But in all aspects of your life, so in love life, in your career, in negotiations as well, like you just know that you don't want to be around. And again, the people you surround yourself with, when someone isn't at the level of mindset you are, you can love them, but from a distance, you know. You then seek out people that understand you, you know, and then
Absolutely. Beautifully said. I love that. I love that. And, you know, I guess like the one last thing I would love for you to share, like for those viewers that are watching this, that are potentially in that space where you once was, that really like they know what they want to do deep down inside, but they've been holding themselves back. What piece of advice would you say for them to kind of get going and make it happen? You've given so many nuggets, but like what's your kind of final thoughts?
I would say one, write it down, look at it every day, every second, you know, and when things don't go right, look at it again and ask yourself, what if, because when you keep coming back to that, and as we said, don't stray away from that, even when you've invested, because that is the most genuine bit of yourself that will keep appearing to you and coming to you. That dream, the reason why you're even considering this is because you're aware that it's there, right? So look, don't ignore it, because you're only going to regret it later. Ask yourself, what if I went for it? What would my life be like? And use that vision to fuel you and do it. You know, like, don't worry about how am I going to do it. Just talk about this is what's going to happen, and the how will come. You know, whether manna falls from the sky or the bank provides the manna, or you will find it, but just go for it. You know, when you take that first step, and actually that's something that's been occurring, being confirmed to me, when you make that first step, everything else will fall into place. When you make that first step, you know, when you just go ask, when you ask, how can we have it done? Ask that right question. Like, I want to do this. How am I going to make it possible? And it will happen. You know, talk to as many people as possible about your dream, and you'll find the right person who will help you make that dream happen. I believe in that.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much, Linda. You have shared so much nuggets of information for our viewers, and you know, there's so many bits they can take and run with. Like literally, like it's been really helpful, and it's been lovely to hear your journey. It's been amazing to witness your journey and see you just fly from strength to strength. And I know there's much more out there for you.
Thank you, Tilean. Like, honestly, this has been amazing. I remember asking you, and from my little room in London, and I said, what does it take to be Dr. Tilean? Do you remember that question?
Yeah.
I remember that, and wow, you know, wow. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
the lights that you put in the world, and for making all of that, my dreams happen and everybody else's dreams happen. It's amazing.
You're absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome. Now go enjoy LA. And we'll catch up soon. Bye now. Thank you.
Bye.